Our next question comes from RL from Pelham Gardens. The question is, can you give us any updates on the stimulus? I can't stress enough how much the March stimulus meant to us, not only as individuals, but as small business operators. The trickle up effects cannot be stressed enough.
Thank you. Sorry, my seat's falling here. So I have championed monthly stimulus payments to folks in the country, everyone that needs it, since the pandemic has started. I was really, really hoping that we were going to be able to cut a deal before the election. And it seemed for a while there that we were on that path, on that negotiating path between both Nancy Pelosi and the current White House to be able to negotiate a second stimulus check. And we thought it was going to happen, and at the very last minute, the rug was pulled out from under us. And now we are in a very dangerous moment where President Trump has no interest in helping the American people. His urgency behind passing a stimulus prior to the election was, I would say, entirely predicated on his reelection. And now that the election is over, it seems as though he has no urgency to help everyone in this country. And Mitch McConnell is very much in the same boat. And I hate to be saying these words right now. It's unacceptable. And so many of our families are in need of this check. I believe that families should be getting monthly checks, especially working class families, especially families that aren't wealthy, which is the vast majority of families in our country. And right now, there's just no urgency on the Republican side. But before the election, Mitch McConnell had indicated that he wouldn't do anything. And so right now, we have one out of our three current bodies that are interested in passing a second COVID relief package. It seems as though House Democrats are pushing for it. We continue to re-vote for secondary stimulus packages that include second, third checks, and it just doesn't go anywhere in the Senate. And one of the tricky issues in particular is that, at least in the negotiating position prior to the election, the only thing that Republicans would negotiate it for potentially is to completely waive liability from all corporations, like a large corporate liability waiver. Now, the reason that this is so dangerous is because this liability waiver is essentially a waiver that will allow big businesses to put workers and allow them to expose COVID to their workers and not face any retribution or lawsuits afterwards. And that is extremely dangerous. That was an area where the Speaker of the House had put her foot down because a $1,200 check, they're trying to make people choose between their life and the present desperate moment that we're all in, and it's criminal and it's wrong. It is my hope that Mitch McConnell is able to find some sort of urgency or desire to make sure that we can get stimulus checks out to everybody. But if it was up to me, and what I have co-sponsored legislation to do is to co-sponsor monthly stimulus checks to work